When apologies fail, marriages die, and relationships, they dry up. A lot of the times it's because they lack empathy. Watch this video for 3 simple ways to increase empathy and effectively impact healing in your relationships. For practical and powerful relationship tips and tools, subscribe to my channel. Be sure to like it, share it, and remember to turn on your notifications so you get the new videos every Thursday. If there's been hurt in your relationship and your apologies don't seem to be moving you forward, the chances are they're lacking empathy. By the end of this video, you'll find 3 simple yet powerful ways to increase the empathy and move your connection to a deeper place. But first, what is empathy and why is it so important? The short version is, empathy is being able to see something from somebody else's perspective and feel what it is that they feel. The reality is, most people, they struggle with that because they're more consumed and focused on their feelings and their perspectives. And it's impossible to value the other person's perspective when you're behind a wall of your own. Like we discussed in the last video, taking responsibility is the first step in offering a genuine apology. It's like knocking on the door of somebody that you've hurt. Empathy is the core value wrapped up in the second step, which is acknowledging the impact that your actions have had on the other person. That's what's going to enable them to actually open the door. Sadly, so many people are more focused on their intentions, and they focus on their experience at the time of offering the apology. They say things like, well, you shouldn't feel that way, or I didn't mean for that to happen, or, get over it, like forgive and let's move on. If you really want somebody to be able to forgive and move on, increasing your empathy is going to be helpful in that process. Here are some clues that we're running low on empathy. If we use statements like, they shouldn't feel that way, or you shouldn't feel that way, like, what's wrong with you? It's obvious when I say it that I'm being judgmental. Doesn't it sound judgmental to you? When we are using statements like that, we know we're way off and the empathy is really, really low. We're not tapping into how they feel at all. Here's how we know that we're making progress with increasing our empathy. When we apologize to someone and we can actually label the emotion that we caused them to experience, we know we're on the right track. We know we're really focusing more on them than we are ourselves. Another indication that our empathy could be improved is when we're using explanations in our apology. Very rarely will someone actually want to hear what it is that you have to say that contributed to you doing what it is that you did or what you said. They don't care at that moment. At least I don't care. I don't want to know what led to you saying that. In that moment, if I've been significantly hurt, all I want to know is that you understand how what you did impacted me. Can you relate to that? If you can, put a comment below. Say, yeah, Drew, that's me. Like, that's just the way it is for the most part. So what can we do to increase empathy? Well, number 1, we can accept that people are different. People are going to feel differently and see things differently than you, and that's important. Once we can get over that fact, then we can spend some time and intentionally start to try to see things from their perspective. Now, a lot of people hesitate to take on the other perspective. One of the reasons why is because they think that means they have to agree with the other person. Do you think you have to agree with somebody in order to really value and validate their perspective? If you think they're the same thing, write yes. If you don't, write no. And tell me why. I don't believe they're the same thing at all. You can totally disagree with somebody, but still be able to see their perspective. And that's what empathy is all about when you're offering a genuine apology. The second thing we can do is intentionally move away from being judgmental. I highlighted it before. We sometimes walk around saying the other person is crazy. What's wrong with that person? How could they think that? Rarely is the other person absolutely out of their mind. Because I mean, if they were, and you were choosing to be in a relationship with somebody who's out of their mind, we would have something that we really need to look at. So let's say they're not crazy. Perhaps they do have a valid perspective. Perhaps it's worth our time seeing it from their perspective, trying to put ourselves in their shoes. When we do that, we move away from being judgmental. Give it a try. You'll see. Trust me. If it doesn't work, let me know. Number 3, accept that good intentions aren't good enough. At the time of the hurt, the chances are the person really didn't hear your intentions, and at the time of the apology, the person doesn't want to hear your intentions. As much as possible, detach your intentions from your apologies. Just leave them separate. Circle back to it another day if you have to. If you just can't let it go and you really want them to understand where you're coming from, leave it for another time. Being able to really put their needs first in that moment and empathize with them is key. I remember watching a little girl just melt and the sense of discomfort and fear move when her father said, you know, when I yelled, I imagine that it frightened you. I could see that you were scared. And slowly, it's almost like the color started to come back to her. She started to feel safe again because he heard it and he voiced it. It is so powerful. So now that you understand what empathy does and how to increase it for yourself, now you're ready to offer your apology. No, you're not. Don't move too fast. We haven't even started talking about how to rebuild trust and restore your credibility. That's where we'll get to in the next video. Thanks for watching this video. If you thought it had something valuable to offer, please like it, subscribe, share with somebody. And if you want some tips and tools straight to your inbox, hop over to my website and sign up for my monthly newsletter and check out my blog. The link is below. Until we connect next, continue to learn, heal, and grow.